Hello, everyone. Welcome to AJC Magic TV. I am Amy, and I'll let everyone start coming in. I know it's a little bit off. Hopefully, nobody else will be going live here shortly. And I'd just like to welcome you this morning. Hopefully, everything's going well for you. I am going to do a Would You Rather question tag that I found through Emma and John and Disney Fan, and it is a Disney Park question, Disney Parks edition. So, welcome to the stream. I'll wait and see if anybody comes in. Hello, Orlando Mike. Thank you for joining. Yes, you are the first one here. I just went live, so I'm gonna be doing a Disney tag. I don't normally go ahead and tag other people, but I usually like to do them. They're fun, something to talk about. But it is a Would You Rather Disney Parks Edition tag. I'll wait and see if anybody else pops in before I get started on it. I hope your day is going okay, Mike. Are you working today, or I know you're getting ready for your big NFL draft stream, so that should be fun. And I know I don't know if um, I know Danny of the Griswold Family Vacay is doing something similar, unless you guys are working together. We'll see if anybody else pops in. Go ahead and feel like sharing out the stream. I'm just sharing out the stream, so I do welcome anyone who has popped in. Just sharing out the stream, so I do apologize about that. Hello, T Marie Photography. Good morning. Okay. I'm watching the TPM vids right now to cure my Disney depression. I just saw the 25th anniversary W Castle. Yes. Yeah, it kind of looked, for me, I've seen the castle. I mean, if that would have been my first trip to Disney World and never seen the castle before, it would have been definitely disappointing. I thought yeah, it didn't look like the greatest thing, but I've seen the castle before that trip, but I actually was down there for the 25th anniversary. So I do plan on getting down there for the 50th anniversary. So yeah, it was. I do have a little statue of the pink castle. Also, I bought because I figured, hey, you're never going to see it like that again. Hello, it's Joey's World. Thank you for joining. I do appreciate it. Anybody that jumps on and participates. And if you want to give your answers as I go through the tag, that'll be great to have some interaction. I thought about just doing a video, but yeah, it does look amazing, Orlando Mike. Yes, hello, Joey, Keith, and Lisa, or whoever's all listening at the It's Joey's World. Good morning, Dances with Goofy Adventures. Thank you for joining. I am doing today a Would You Rather Disney Parks Edition tag that I had saw Disney Dan do it, and then I went to Emma and John's site or their channel to see if they had the questions, and they did have them on their um, channel page of the in their description, so it helped. I really like doing the tags. It's fun to kind of come up with different things. Hey, Blaine 2007, rarely creative. Yeah, that I think they probably will leave it, or at least somewhat leave it like that, Mike. But we'll see. You never know what they end up doing or deciding on doing. But I think them repainting it and kind of spiffing it up a little bit really makes it feel better, look better, looks refreshed, and everything like that. So that's one of the things. It would be nice while they are closed if they could go around and retouch up some places that look a little shabby and be able to do things. But I'm not sure what all they're able to be out there doing, if they're doing anything at that. um, I know I see different channels or different news channels type of thing saying, "Oh, Disney's doing this or Disney's doing that." So I'm not sure exactly what all is going on. Good morning, Griswold Family Vacay. Thank you for joining. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, um, I'm sure if they would have been able to work from the day one of the shutdown on construction, some of the construction projects could probably be um, pretty much on their way to a good spot of being finished, something like Ratatouille or Tron or something, even though they probably have to do a lot of testing and stuff, although they do test some of the vehicles and things as they go along. Hello, this are dreams. Thank you for joining. I know some of you are listening at work. That's fine. I do appreciate that you come along. Please remember to hit that thumbs up button if you can. It does help the channel out. It's much appreciated. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. But I'm going to go ahead and get started with the Would You Rather Disney Parks edition. It is a tag. I'm not going to tag anybody. If you feel like you like to do it, um, I can get you the questions. I actually am reading the questions from the Emma and John um, YouTube channel because they had done it. I was looking for the questions so I could usually write them down. But here we go. And I'm sure you've seen, I do believe Mouse Talk has done this and Disney Dan also. But here we go. Would you rather have a free dining plan of your choice or a free plaid VIP tour guide to skip the lines on your trip? Personally, I probably would prefer the free dining plan, especially if you could have the top tier one where you could, um, you get all three meals. I think there is one where you could also get like the in room dining and all of that stuff. Um, but to me, it would be a no brainer with the free dining plan of your choice. I mean, free food, hey, I would do that. It would be great to go on one of the free plaid VIP tour guide things. That way you would get done with the park and everything. But I would rather have the food. You know, I love trying out the different restaurants. Yeah, Rhonda. I know the first time we ever had the dining plan, and this was back in 1994 when they started to introduce something called the Food, Fun, and More. And we got three meals, and to go into the Yachtman Steakhouse and look at your bill that was probably over $500, and it was paid for through the dining plan. And at that time, they didn't have like one, two credit type of restaurants. You just used it as a dining meal for that day. So when you've seen the bills for different places, like we did the Yachtman Steakhouse, well, it was a no brainer because we were staying at the beach club during that trip also. But they also had a restaurant called Ariel's, which is now that I believe they use that space for like special events and stuff. But it's like right next. kind of around the corner from where Beaches and Cream is, and it was a seafood restaurant. They did offer chicken and steak and everything, and I remember my mom and I getting the lobsters. Speaking of food, I need to go create some before work starts. No problem. Dances with Goofy. And so, being able to pick anything off those menus, and when you got the bill, hello, Disney Nerd Herders, thank you for joining. Yeah, I thought about doing a vlog and stuff like that, but I kind of like the interaction and everything. But yeah, there's some other tags I have I may just do as a vlog and drop them later. But I thought I would go live. I'm still trying to get my hours. Getting closer to being about 600 more hours, a little over 600 more hours. So sometimes if I can go live and get the interaction and stuff, it's fun. So, but but yeah, so you'll probably be seeing different videos. I did drop a video today on the Wildlife Express train ride to Rafiki's Planet Watch. Um, so go check that out. Um, it is a nice little train ride that you go backstage and then you do walk up through the thing and walk up through to Rafiki's Planet Watch. I didn't show the outside animals, but they do have a little petting zoo there. And I also didn't show the Animation Academy that they have in there also. Um, just because there was a group there and it's kind of tight in there. They really put that in the middle of the room at Rafiki's Planet. But I just wanted to give people an idea and left the narration part from the train. So go check that out. That's a pretty neat video if any of you ever gone on the train at Rafiki's Planet Watch in Disney's Animal Kingdom. But let's get going on the second question. Would you rather win a free 2-day trip to a Disney park of your choice where you can ride anything, or win a free 5-day trip to a Disney park of your choice, but you can't ride any rides, only enjoy transportation, railroad, monorail, Main Street vehicles, Skyline, etc., and food and drinks? um, I would probably like the free 2-day trip of the Disney park of my choice. I know bucket list, wish list thing. I don't know if I'll ever get there, but I would love to go to Tokyo, Japan, to Tokyo Disney and Disney Sea. Um, that would be incredible. They look like incredible parks from the videos I've seen, and and it is a great choice. That's the thing on the this or that. Yeah, I would love to have both too, Mike. Um, you know, for me though, if I was paying for the trip, it's very hard for me to just say I'll go down to Disney and just stay at my hotels. Although, you know, I usually sometimes I don't really take a full day, but there's times where I will just ride some of the boats, like take the bus to the Magic Kingdom, get on the monorail, get off at the TTC and take the ferry boat across, and then get on the ferry boat to Wilderness Lodge um, or the campground, or ride the boats over to the Polynesian and Grand Floridian. So it's always fun to do that. Um, but I would definitely do the 2-day park trip if it was to doing that. Universal is closed through May 31st as of right now. I don't see them opening any early. Yeah, I don't either. Dances with Goofy. I know, I've been seeing various what will happen, what's Disney going to do, you know, there's a task force out there um, stating that they may only let Florida residents into the theme parks at first and then eventually open it up for all United States citizens and then eventually the international citizens. So we'll see what happens there, and I'm sure whatever Universal's planning, it's probably something on in line on what Disney's doing, and it could also be a race for Universal of who's going to open up first or whatever. But personally, if I was the park watching Disney or whatever, hello, Erica's Insights. Thank you for joining. I would I would probably hang back and see what happens because what if there is a reinfection out there or something? But haven't heard too much when Disney's going to open. If they do, I've heard that it could be just Florida residents. I don't know. I know they're taking reservations starting June 1st, and but those people that are from out of state, if they're only letting Florida residents go to the theme parks, then you're probably going to get canceled, or who knows what they'll end up doing. Yeah, let's watch and see what Georgia does. As of now, I heard potentially June 1st. Yeah, that's what I have heard. And then I've heard that it could be pushed back later. So we'll see. That's pretty much a waiting game of here or there. Um, would you rather win a dream trip to Disney World in Florida, Hong Kong? It's a choice of these three. Well, it's like, would you rather win a dream trip to Disney World, Hong Kong, and Shanghai, or California, Paris, and Tokyo? Um, Personally, for me, California, Paris, and Tokyo would be my choice of the three parks that I would like to visit. Um, I'd like to get back out to Disneyland and enjoy the California Adventure Park. Um, I could have went to the Paris park a couple years ago. My niece was there, and I was going to go fly over to visit. And I definitely want to go to Tokyo Disney and Disney Sea. I know like Hong Kong and Shanghai have some pretty cool rides there and stuff, but there's only a select few rides, and I don't think they're as big as what some of the other parks. I know Paris is a little bit smaller and things, but this way it would give me three different places to really visit. But California, Paris, and Tokyo would be my choice. Yeah, I hope you'll get to go and head down to Orlando, Disney Our Dreams. I know a few other people that have gone down during this time, so I'm not sure if they flew or drove or whatever. I vaguely believe that that was like the 3 o'clock parade, Mike. Um, if that was the 3 p.m., the name of the 3 o'clock parade. Um, in those days, a lot of times I very rarely saw the 3 p.m. parade. Um, because that usually was I would be in the parks early and have lunch and then head back to my resort to kind of rest and cool off and stuff. And it was usually the hot heat of the day of that time. And then I would end up being back in the parks around 4:30, 5 p.m. for the rest of the night. So there was a long period of time where I barely caught the 3 p.m. parade, but I do remember seeing it a little bit. Oh, wow. Yeah, getting your furniture and stuff. I don't know if you have to build any of the pieces or if they just come in. Hello, Angela. This are dreams. Thank you for joining. I am doing a would you rather Disney Parks edition of a tag that I had seen Disney Dan doing and Wald of Mouse Talk and Emma and John. And I'm just using the questions from Emma and John on their site. They are from the UK area also. And and they have some different various talks. I also have one of Would You Rather, a Universal edition that I'll probably go ahead and do also at some time. Next question is, would you rather have dinner at Blue Bayou in Disneyland with Walt Disney or Bob Iger to ask any questions you got? Hands down, the Blue Bayou with Walt Disney. Um, yeah, it'd be good to talk with Bob Iger. I've been starting to read his book a little. Um, so it's been a great time, but actually, um, I would, um, I would definitely want to talk with Walt Disney and talk to him. That would be incredible. I know when you're at Disneyland, that is the park where a lot of the original Imagineers and everybody lived and worked, and Walt himself. You know, so that would be so that would be the big thing, hands down. That right now, Bob Iger is still living. Yeah, it'd be great to win some type of um, dinner with Bob Iger or lunch with Bob Iger, kind of like what they have the lunch with Imagineers that are around. I believe they still do them. I know. I think Joe Rody was supposed to have one yesterday for for the opening day of Animal Kingdom and Earth Day. But I don't know how much of a regular basis they do lunch with an Imagineer program. Would you rather spend 10 minutes in the Utilidor system at Walt Disney World or 5 minutes in Walt's apartment and 5 minutes in the inner workings of the Matterhorn at Disneyland? I would actually pick the second part, only because I've been down in the Utilidor system as a cast member. It is pretty neat down there, but um, to actually be able to go into Walt's apartment and the Matterhorn at Disneyland, that would be more special for me. Plus, since I don't live near Disneyland and stuff, it would also be something that would be special. And to actually, oh, no problem, Orlando, Mike. To actually see, I would say B because I think it would be harder. Yes, yes, that would be. Um, the Utilidor system, if you do the Keys of the Kingdom tour, you can go, they take you down there. But I never had to go on that tour. I actually got to walk through them, go into different areas. So to choose the apartment and the Matterhorn areas, that would be more special. Let's see. Number 6 is, would you rather have Cars Land or Galaxy's Edge be closed during your entire next trip to Disneyland, California? Um, I guess it would be Galaxy's Edge. I would prefer that to be closed versus Cars Land, since we don't have Cars Land here on the East Coast. Um, that area looks incredible. I love the Cars movie. Route 66, that whole theming. But the Cars Land, I would rather that be open because we don't have that area here on the East Coast. We have Galaxy's Edge. It's kind of a mirror image of the same attractions. They do seems like it's set up a little bit differently, but I think that's just the way they have the openings and everything. But Cars Land would be the so I haven't seen Cars Land, so I would say Cars Land. I'm a Star Wars junkie, so I'd be crushed if it's closed. Yeah, I would rather have Galaxy's Edge closed versus Cars Land. Because that's one of the reasons, that's something different than what we have on the East Coast. Would you rather have a starring role on a float of your choice in the Main Street Electrical Parade or a starring role in Fantasmic? Ooh, that's a tough one because I really like I enjoyed the nighttime parades. The Main Street Electrical Parade is the first parade I ever gotten to see, so I have seen the Main Street Electrical Parade, Spectro Magic before, um, and Fantasmic. I like the show. I guess it would all depend on what I would be part of the show. Um, but I'm guessing probably the Main Street Electrical Parade float for me. Fantasmic, yeah. Yeah, that would be easy. It would probably depend on what part I would get. I mean, I know they have the floats that go by with the princesses and or be on the boat, but I think the parade would be fun, especially since it's in the Magic Kingdom. For a lot of you, your kids or even yourself got to march down Main Street USA as a kid in the marching band or a college student in the marching band. That's a very special moment for anyone. So I know for me that would be a special thing to go down Main Street USA in the parade. Would you rather time travel to July 17th, 1955 and witness opening day at Disneyland, or to July 17th, 2035 to witness the opening of the time capsule? I would say July 17th, 2035 would be something I would rather do than go back to 1955. Yeah, it'd be great because a lot of the actors and stuff that were there on the day of 1955, but I'm more curious to see what the future would be. Um, Although right now we're in 2020, so that's about 15 years from now. So but it would be interesting to see how the park and everything. Yeah, that first day in 1955 was rough. Although Walt would be there alive, there was a ton of actors that were either young at that time, children, or even young adults. But I think the future to see what actually ends up happening. Although for somebody like Orlando Mike or you're younger, I mean, I know for me, 15 years, I would hopefully still, you know, hope, so it's really not that far away for some people that you would actually be there. So opening day might be more of a, um, more of a time travel type of thing. Yeah, it is a tough one because if I'm living in 15 years, it could, hey, it would be pretty good depending on your day. Yeah, that's a tough one. But the future would be it's not too far, but it would be interesting to see what all the innovations and stuff they have in 15 years from now. Would you rather Disneyland reopen the Skyway or the People Mover? Um, I never experienced their People Mover, but I would think the Skyway would probably be a lot better. Um, I know sometimes I know when Disney World had it, we rode the Skyway, but a lot of times it was like going from Tomorrowland over to Fantasyland, so used it more of a transportation thing and also enjoy the views. Um, Trying to think when I did go to Disneyland if the Skyway was still there. I can't remember if it was or not because I went to Disneyland um, in the 90s for a day, but it was a little bit late 90s, so I'm not sure when it actually got closed or shut down. And I don't really remember the People Mover there. And it doesn't seem like it, um, I can't really remember a lot of their Tomorrowland of how that went around, but I think the Skyway, you get a little bit better um, view of everything and the lay of the land, and plus the way there Tomorrowland to where you got off of for the Skyway, you would put you in a whole nother land, so it'd be more like a transportation thing. Okay, Mike Wheeler, thank you for joining, Mike Wheeler. Yeah, I wasn't sure, so I think I just missed the Skyway there. And the number 10 question is: would you rather meet and get photos with every character you would ever want to meet with no wait, or get every trin I'm sorry, or get every trading pin or Mickey ears you have ever wanted? Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, I don't collect the Mickey ears, so that part wouldn't be a special. The pins would be fun to have. They're more tangible and everything like that. But I'm guessing I would probably want to meet all the characters that I could ever want to meet that are available to meet and get photos and everything like that. Probably A for Landon. Yeah, like yeah, I would say Angela. They would probably want the pins and ears there. I, yeah, that's a tough one for me because I love getting the pins and everything like that. Um, Although a lot of the characters, especially if there's some rare ones that you don't normally get to see, um, yeah, that's a kind of a tough one. I don't collect Mickey ears, but I could always donate them to people also. So that would be the. But I think to get every oh, no problem, and I figured you were working and everything. Mike Wheeler had just said he knew what answer that you would pick would be to get every Mickey ears you ever wanted or pins, probably. I could see the characters whenever I want, or rather, I could before Disney closed. So I'd take the pins. Yes, I personally I would take the pins also. It would be fun to meet the characters and stuff. I don't collect ears, but somebody who loves the ears and wants the ears, and it's hard to get them at times because they sell out fast or whatever, that would be the choices. So the trading pins would probably be my choice over the characters and the ears. But that is the Would You Rather Disney Park Edition tag. I'm not going to tag anybody, but the questions are out there. And if you want to do it, I can certainly try and get the questions for you and put them into my description at some time. But if you like to check out where you can find questions, I know Emma and John on their channel, they have it on their in their description for the Would You Rather Disney Park Edition. And maybe if Disney Dan or Mouse Talk still has a copy of the questions, they can forward them to you for other people to do that. I'm going to switch gears, and there is a Universal Studios tag. I know, yeah, I'm going against the Disney grain, but I do visit Universal Studios not every trip, but there's always been a trip where we planned or I decided I wanted to go there. Um, a couple of the reasons why I wanted to go there my last trip was hadn't visited the um, I can't think of it now, Diagon Alley that was new after I'd gotten sick that I couldn't travel at a time, and I did have a little bit of a hiatus where I was not in Orlando for a couple years. So one of the things that we wanted to do my trip in June of last summer was to hit up Hollywood Studios or Universal Studios. Hello, Shelley Starwalker. Thank you for joining. I would take I would take Depends just because I've met all the characters and some of them personally. Yes, Mike, that is true. Welcome in, Candy Mom. I know you're listening. I know you're at work, but I do thank you for listening and playing while you're working. When Jeff is in the chat, I'm Angela DOD, and when I'm in, he's Jeff Orangeburg, just so we aren't stepping on each other in chat. That's true, and it also helps um, let people know who you guys are. Welcome in, Noah. Thank you for joining. I had done the Would You Rather Disney Park tag, Disney Park Edition tag. I just finished that, but now I'm going to do a um, Universal tag, Universal Studios Florida tag. So welcome in everyone. If I have missed you, I'm trying to follow the chat, but I'm also trying to read the questions. And hopefully if some of you have gone to Universal Studios before, whether it's here and on in Florida or in Hollywood, California, that would be wonderful to see what your answers are. That is one of the places I love to try to go to sometime if I do get back out to California, is to go to the Universal Studios Hollywood and also, of course, Disneyland and the California Adventure. But here we go. How many times have you been to Universal Studios Orlando or Hollywood? Um, the University Studios in Orlando, there's too many to count. But if I had to say, because for a while there, I was going back in the 2000s after it opened. When I was a Florida resident, I used to go a lot all the time. I When they offered annual passes, I had an annual pass for a couple years because I was going. I had a Disney annual pass, so I was going to Disney a lot, and we would um, so whenever I first bought my annual pass and that, my cousins had lived there, and we would go to Universal at least one time. I was there before the Islands of Adventures park opened, and then when Islands of Adventures opened, we visited both of them. We don't visit every time, but it's too many to count for me. In the last year, I've been there twice, um, but then over the years, I could probably it's too many to really remember. It's been like 2009. I've only been to Universal once. Need to visit, yes. Um, my thing is, I've been in Orlando since Universal opened, so I know I still love Disney. I stay at Disney and travel over to Universal. I did stay at the Royal Pacific Hotel one time. It was just a bad time of the year, possibly. Hello, Keystone 76. Yeah, Mike, it is a nice park if you get a chance to visit. Um, it's fun. I do like the Harry Potter area. I like a lot of the areas in Islands of Adventure. So on that. My next question is, have you been there when a new ride opened? Yes, I was there this past summer for Hagrid's. I was not there for the day that it actually opened, but it was like the week after. Unfortunately, we didn't get to ride it because they were still having too many opening and closing problems and only would let so many people in line, and you didn't know, so we didn't even bother. I was trying to go back in December to go over to the ride Haggards again, but the 2 days that I had picked in December, it was down, so I wasn't going to waste my ticket that I had to go over and not be able to get a chance to ride it. So hopefully in a future trip, I'll get to ride Hagrid's. So that was the area. I've never been there. I was there when the whole land opened. I was there. Okay. Yeah, that would be the thing. I was there right before Skull Island opened. Okay. So what's for lunch, Mike? They want to know. Got to go grab lunch. Okay, thank you, Stacy or Charlie. Thank you for joining. See you later in the chats. Spanish rice, Mike. That sounds delicious. Um, so that's really the only new ride that I have ever been to at Universal that had opened. Most of the time, I had been down to the land, at least the Hogwarts area, after it opened, like a month or two after it opened, when things have calmed down a little bit. Do you like butterbeer? I would say I like the frozen version of butterbeer. So I do like butterbeer, but I like the frozen version of butterbeer. Um, to me, I just like a cooler drink, um, and a slushier version. So, and I don't think the slushier version tastes as like strong in flavor. But I can't really say the other idea. Hey, Daniel messaged me on IG. I have an ID. Okay, but that would be I think it would be a little more syrupy than it being in a slushy form. But I do like the butter beer. What is your favorite time of year to go to Universal and why? Um, I know at Halloween you have to pay extra to go to the Halloween Horror Nights, but for me, I've been there whenever they've done the Halloween Horror Nights. I've gone once, but I really like the Christmas time there. Um, I love that they do the Grinchmas in Islands of Adventure. I like the little miniature Macy's Day Parade type of thing at Universal. Um, so that that to me the Christmas time area. I've also been there for Mardi Gras. That is fun in the evening with the Mardi Gras parade and everything. And then they do have concerts there on the weekends. So that's a little tie there in a sense. But that was the hello Jeffrey Resendez. Thank you for joining. So that would be hello Emma and John. Thank you for joining. Welcome in. Thank you for joining. I had been looking at your stream and seeing a couple tags, so I've been doing your two tags that you did. I already did the would you rather tag that you had on, but I'm doing the Universal Studios tag that you had on there. So I do thank you. It's been fun. I like doing the tags sometimes. I'd rather get the interaction from people by going live, but I'll also um, try and do a vlog maybe sometime and do it. Sometimes for me, doing the vlog, it's a little bit harder because um, I know the editing and stuff. You start to talk and then you say something, and then it's like, oh, I gotta make sure I edit that out or whatever. But I do thank you for joining. What do you think Universal offers that Disney doesn't? And what does Disney offer that Universal doesn't? Ooh, that's kind of tough because I never really thought about the offerings because I know they're different in different aspects. Um, as far as I think they Universal to me is more of a um, I'm not saying an older crowd type of thing. I mean, young kids can enjoy it depending on their heights and their fear factors. I think it's geared towards teens and adults or older, like a 7-year old that's taller and not afraid to ride things. Um, so that could be the hello Nathan T. Just vlogged this. Thank you for joining. Um, yeah, thank you. Yes, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Um, I think Universal offers. Um, you have to look at it when they first open. It is riding the movies more than anything and that immersion because even like when they had Jaws and the original King Kong ride, um, it just was more. But that it is a little bit different. The City Walk has kind of evolved into different things. Um, I kind of like that campusy thing, although I know Disney is spread out and everything. Um, I don't think they offer. I'm not saying it's not magical there, but you don't get that magical feeling as much as you do at Disney. Disney offers that magic, and I never had a bad experience with any of the cast members or team members of Universal, so I can't really say. I know some people go, "Oh, the team members aren't as nice as Disney cast members." Um, to me, I personally never had a bad experience with any of the cast members or team members anywhere. Um, yeah, there's times that cast members can be grumpy and team members can be grumpy. I mean, it gets hot down in Florida. Crowds can be demanding no matter which park you're at. Um, yeah, it's hard to say. I think Disney offers that full immersion, magical theming. Um, that's what they want you to stay in the Disney bubble. They do offer a little more of 4 parks. Um, Universal offers the thrills, especially Islands of Adventures with Hulk and Jurassic Park. And I like the Dr. Seuss area. I grew up with Dr. Seuss. That's a fun little area, and yeah, it's geared towards kids and stuff. But um, I don't know. It's very hard. Also, though, one of our favorite well, there might be something on here. Um, yeah, the next, well, that one's but they both kind of offer, the restaurants and the amusements and stuff. I think Disney has a little more theme. I know each of the lands in Universal have, especially Harry Potter. You can't beat the theming in Harry Potter. It's like you walked into the movie. I was excited. I got the interactive wand. It was fun to play with the windows and different things like that. That's the one thing it would be. Not that I want Disney to copy from them on that, but it would be fun to have a little some type of interaction areas or things. I know, Pandora has a little bit of things where you can touch things and it lights up or whatever. I know they have that drumming area where they have the drummers come out and stuff. And you do feel very immersed in there. And at night, it's very luminescence and stuff. But nothing beats to me right now except Galaxy's Edge is very immersive. Although, I know you do the Play Disney app, but it'd be fun to have a little more immersive things that they would put in there for people. Because, and I don't know how they would do that because, these days, they could have probably had some type of laser, whatever they stormtroopers use, and you did something with targets or, something like that. I don't know. Um, Kind of like with the wands where you kind of do something. Yeah, I've heard that, Mike, also. Um, and I know some Disney cast members and um, and Universal cast members kind of intertwine, especially if you're part time at both of them. Yeah, the drummers are awesome, and yeah, and they do have the music and stuff around in Pandora. In fact, somebody just um, I was watching one of an older vlog of someone walking through Pandora and stuff, and you could hear all the different things. I hope one day Disney will somehow avatars actually walking around Pandora. Yeah, that would be interesting too, Mike. I'm going to go on to the next question. What is your favorite restaurant in City Walk? I'm going to also include in in the Universal Park also. One of the restaurants that we usually do when we go to Islands of Adventures is a must do, and it's Mythos restaurant. It is one. It has been known to be like a um, 4-star or whatever star restaurant that they have. It is a nice sit down thing. The theming, it's like you go inside a cave. Um, and it's like a Greek theme type of thing. It is right after the Dr. Seuss land. I forget what the land is that they call it because it's kind of like it used to be where that the mythical creature land or whatever they had there. I can't even remember what it was called, the land, but we always go there. That's a must do for us. Um, when we were there in June, the team member there, my sister, I think we were supposed to go to Universal, the original park first, the first day, and then Islands of Adventure, but then we kind of crisscrossed. And my sister said, "Oh, we're scheduled to go there." And then when she looked at our reservations, the person was able to actually switch our reservations from our second day to the day that we were there. Um, but they do have some good food there. I know we were there one day and it was like a grilled cheese with tomato soup, but it was kind of like I want to say it's like a bread bowl, but it really wasn't because it was like the tomato soup was around, but the grilled cheese sat inside it and it was delicious. But they have different sandwiches, steaks, chicken, and everything. Um, one of my favorite, two of my favorite restaurants, and I know you can go to Hard Rock cafes in various cities, but I always enjoyed the Hard Rock Cafe. Yes, that's what it is, Mike. The best theme park restaurant is Mythos or Mythos. Um, but that's always a must do for my sister and her family and myself. um, City Walk, I enjoy Margaritaville, Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville. That's one of my cousin's favorite restaurants, but I really like it there. I like the nachos there, um, and the appetizers. A lot of times when I go to Hard Rock Cafe and places like that, like Jimmy Buffett's, I usually tend to get more of the appetizers. I enjoy eating the appetizers or the wings and nachos and different things like that. Um, that's one of my cousin's favorite restaurants at Universal is the Jimmy Buffett's. Now I haven't tried the Chocolate Emporium place. Um, when we were there in June. Um, like the one day we ate at Mythos, and then the other day we did the NBC cafe. It used to be the race car or the NASCAR cafe, and then they changed it to the NBC cafe. But we were on our way out of. It was kind of hot and everything, and we were ready for our break, and we really couldn't find anywhere to eat inside the Universal Park itself. So we just decided, well, we were either going to go back to our place and find some place off thing, and we were going by the NBC cafe and just decided to go in there. It wasn't too bad. I'm not going to complain. But it's just your typical. It's kind of like Margaritaville, and it's kind of like Hard Rock Cafe and stuff. They have their own different foods, and like I said, a lot of times I tend to get a burger or the appetizers at those places. I like wings a lot. Yeah, Griswold Family Vacay. Yeah, if you have a Margaritaville in your town, that's not going to be something. I know we have a Hard Rock Cafe here in Pittsburgh. Every once in a while, when we're down at Station Square or in town, we may go there. But that's why we try to pick places that we don't normally go to. But there are times that, hey, doesn't hurt to go to that McDonald's or Chick-fil-A or something at that time. Um, when I go with my sister's family, we do stay off site in their condo, so I won't complain about that. So we'll eat off property times. It just depends on what time of the day and where we're at. Because there are times that, like that day, we left Universal, the actual original park, and we ate at the NBC Cafe, went back and rested for a bit, and then we did go back um, to do some of the evening things, plus ride the Hogwarts Express. But we ate in the Three Broomsticks restaurant, and that was very good. Have you ever been to Halloween Horror Nights? Um, I did a long time ago. I really would like to go back again sometime. Um, so if I ever get back down, when last year would have been a good time, but they didn't. They kind of opened after the week after I was down in Florida, and I probably would have been there around then. But I would like to try to plan a trip around where I could do Mickey's Halloween party plus do Halloween Horror Nights one time. I've seen a few live few YouTube creators go there and video the night and walk around. Um, you're not allowed to video inside the haunted houses. Only on the media day can the media people that are Universal Media can show the insides of the haunted houses. But I know one of the YouTube persons, they stick their camera in their backpack and you can hear all the sounds and noises, but they'll show you everything else that's going on outside. Have a good day, Jeff Resendez. Thank you. Um, hope you have a good day. Thank you for joining. I do appreciate that. But it looks like it's fun. Yeah, it could be a little nerve wracking and could be a little scary at times. I don't scare too easily, but it does get a little nerve wracking because you don't know if they're going to get into your faces. But some of their outside theming that you walk through, the one time I had seen, they do have the Killer Clown area, but they did Vamp 80s, or the Vamp 80s thing that looked really interesting. And then they had a Pumpkin Land and everything. I can't really remember last year with some of the area. I think it was um, I forget what the main stage area that they had theming wise, but and some of the haunted houses names sounded really neat. I know my sister and brother-in-law went down and visited, and um, they liked the last year they had a Ghostbusters one, and there was a few others that my sister's not normally one to want to go do that, but she went with them and actually enjoyed it. So that's a must do type of thing that they would do also. Favorite Harry Potter attraction, and bonus, what is your Hogwarts house? Um, that's hard. I really love the Forbidden Journey, but after a while, after riding that this last time, I forgot how much it spins around and moves around. Okay, Mike. Yeah, I couldn't remember what lands and everything. I did enjoy the Gringotts ride also. That's really hard. The Forbidden Journey, to me, that was really exciting. Walking into Hogwarts Castle, they had interactive walls in certain parts of the room with the paintings and things like that. So that was really cool. So I'm gonna say that's my favorite attraction. It was incredible how they did that and everything. But Gringotts is a close second. Um, it's a roller coaster type of ride and stuff like that, but it, it really was. Yeah, I can't wait to ride the um, the Hagrid's ride. Unfortunately, when we were there after opening, they were still having that crazy. Of course, they were still trying to figure out. I think they just wanted to get it open because Galaxy's Edge was coming and everything like that, and they didn't have it worked out very well. And there was a lot of bugs and problems of people waiting hours and hours to ride the ride. And then I wanted to go back in December, and it was down. So hopefully I'll get to go whenever the next time I'm down in Florida, because I do have a couple tickets, and I had been thinking about. I'm glad I didn't get the annual pass that I was planning on getting, because I wouldn't have gotten too much use out of it at that time. I am a Gryffindor. That's the Hogwarts house that I belong to, is the Gryffindor house. I don't know about any of you if you've ever taken quizzes on the Harry Potter type of thing. I do love the lands. It's very immersive and everything. So, have you ridden the crazy roller coasters such as Hulk or the Rip Rocket? I've ridden both. I love the Hulk. Um, I thought the Rip Rocket roller coaster was a little more jerkier for me. Um, and it seemed like it was like a stop and go in certain places. I could be wrong. And I know you could pick the music that you wanted to listen to, but Hulk to me, hands down, was number one. That was a thumbs up for me, is the Hulk. Okay, the Hulk was under construction. Yeah. Um, I've I've been on the whenever they had dueling dragons there. I love that. That was fun. It's too bad they couldn't have figured out a way. I know the underhanging type of coasters really aren't the thing anymore. You want a more type of thing. I know some amusement parks still have the hanging ones. To me, that was like close to flying, besides the type that you lay, like the Stingray at SeaWorld. But Dueling Dragons was really, really a great ride. What is your favorite memory of Universal Studios? Ooh, um, there's probably a couple good memories, but I would have to go back to their retro days of Universal Studios. Um, my I for me, probably one of the greatest memories is us getting on the Jaws ride, and that ride I never wanted to sit on the end because I couldn't remember what side the shark would come up on and stuff like that. It still kind of scared me, but I remember the kick that my young nephew and niece, they were probably, I can't even remember how young they were, but we were getting on the Jaws ride, and their cousin, who was a little bit older than them, was really scared. Not that it's a favorite memory because I feel bad for him, but they really enjoyed the Jaws ride, and they just had fun laughing at the everyone that was getting. Not that it's funny watching people get scared, but they were having fun, lighthearted fun with their cousins getting scared and myself and stuff like that. But that to me is just fun riding it with them. That's a memory that they kind of remember, like, yeah, Connor got scared, he didn't want to get on and stuff. But not that you not that that's a funny thing or whatever, but that was just a special memory being there with them. They loved the ET ride. Um, there was just a lot of good memories being there with my nieces and nephews and everything. Best way to remember which way to say so. You're not by the shark at the end will be the last one in the boat. Yes, yes, Mike, that's true. But yeah, that would just scare me because I forget that, and I would always be in the part of the boat where he actually came up out of the water and everything. That was just a fun ride, in my opinion. It's too bad they had to change it, but I mean, I know the Harry Potter land is great and everything like that. Um, the other thing, I mean, I love the Mummy ride and everything, but I love the original Kong ride. I'm sure it got pricey and stuff like that, and kids these days, I know that's where they have to keep up with the generation gaps of everything, like who's King Kong, and stuff. But those those retro rides at Universal were fun. I know people talk about the retro rides at Disney a lot. There are a lot of memories for me because I've been going to Disney since 1983. There's a lot of changes there. I've been to Universal since that opened. I've seen the various changes and rides and all the different lands and stuff. Um, so it's just a lot of different memories there. Um, I know they have that Curious George land in the back where they have the ballroom, and then there's like fountains and stuff. That's a great memory because my niece and nephew, we went back there and they had a blast playing with the ball pit and shooting the balls from the little cannons and just spending a half hour letting them run around and burn energy. They were just having a blast back there. So, have you been to Volcano Bay? If so, your favorite ride? I have not been to Volcano Bay. This past June, we were thinking about going to Volcano Bay, um, but we decided to pass. Um, Not that I'm not a water park person, I really wanted to try it. We were trying to decide. I know I have to kind of be careful with the crowds and different things of stuff because of having a kidney transplant and everything. But it just we were with my brother's, my sister, mother-in-law was with us. My niece's grandmother was with us, and we felt that maybe going to one of the Disney parks would have been a better choice. Not that I didn't want to go to the water park, but I felt I wanted to go back over to Disney myself, and so we kind of passed on it. We, I think if my two nephews were with us, we probably would have went to the water park. Okay, this is our dreams. Thank you for joining. Have a great day and see you in the chats later. And also on your show today, you guys are doing Dreaming with the Mouse. So I will see you guys later. My favorite moment would have been two of them working there at Spider-Man, knowing all the secrets and opening day of Wizarding World. Yeah, that would be cool to know all the secrets and stuff. Um, Welcome to the stream, Jerry Holly. Thank you for joining. Sorry if I missed you earlier. I just seen you talking about the ride and everything. Yeah, I've never been to Volcano Bay. It looks cool. They actually have a lazy river I want to try. It's more of a rapid lazy river type of thing. So that's going to be on a must do trip, especially if I go down in the summer or in a time where the weather is nice and everything. Um, so that was the only um, part there. But I think if my nephews would have been there, we probably would have went to the water parks. My sister's kids, they're a little bit older now, but that was one of the things that they're fish. They love the water. They love going to the water parks and stuff. And we would spend a few hours in the morning till we're like pretty much drained from the sun and kind of hit most of the attractions and stuff. I usually a couple hours at the water park and I'm pretty much done, but we always had fun doing the water parks. But that's one of the things I like to go do is the Volcano Bay. Have you stayed in a Universal hotel, and if so, which one? The only one that I got to stay at, we would love to go to the Volcano Bay, but we really like the Disney water park. So yes, Emma and John, that's true. Also, um, one of the reasons why visiting Universal and SeaWorld and possibly other parks is when we stay off site. Um, when I stay off site with my sister at their timeshare or go with them and we stay at one of the timeshare places that they have points and stuff for. It kind of makes it easier to visit some of the off-site Disney parks, although sometimes I miss the Disney parks itself, but we try to plan our days to where we do hit one of the Disney parks and maybe choose one of the Disney water parks or since Volcano Bay was new. But yeah, I wouldn't like leave my Disney resort in the Disney bubble type of thing to just go to Volcano Bay. Um, but if I combined it, maybe Volcano Bay in the morning or maybe later in the day after visiting part of the park and then go take a break over at Volcano Bay, I would probably do something like that, but I just wouldn't leave it to just do Volcano Bay. Yeah, the Endless Summer Resort looks really reasonable and it looks like a great place to stay. Um, I stayed at the Royal Pacific Hotel, um, but at that time, that was the only three hotels was the Portofino Bay Hard Rock Cafe, the Hard Rock Hotel, and the Royal Pacific. I stayed there because I got a really great rate at that time with the annual pass, and um, with the annual pass and everything. I know my sister, they stayed at the Hard Rock Hotel. They liked it. It's in a good location. You can take the boat over to Universal or walk. Royal Pacific, you can walk. It's a little bit longer walk, but they also have the boat transportation to City Walk, and then you're right there. It was a nice resort. It was a little Polynesian style, relaxing. It wasn't over the top and everything. I had a nice view of the pool area and everything like that. Um, but I did enjoy my stay there. The only drawback for me whenever I stayed there, it was more in the December time. I stayed there for one evening to do the parks, and the parks close earlier, and I just felt there wasn't that much to do, especially when Disney still had Pleasure Island and stuff. Because a lot of times when the Disney parks close early, you would find me at what now is Disney Springs, but they had Pleasure Island and the Village Marketplace and Disney Quest. So I just felt that my stay there, I would love to go back and stay there again, maybe for another night or two where you do get that express pass that's really good and it does save you some time and everything. So, and maybe when the parks are open later and the weather's a little bit nicer. I did enjoy the pool though because it was nice in the morning, the one morning and everything before I left to go on to the parks. I spent the morning in the pool at the thing. Yes, Emma and John, sometimes I do that. We'll pick a place or there or two to leave property. Nowadays, since they charge, I don't really rent a car as much anymore as I used to. Um, Not that that would dissuade me from renting a car because Disney charges for parking at the resorts now. Because when I stayed at Universal, I had to pay anyway to park the rental car that I had. But I don't rent the car as much anymore because of Magical Express, and I've only started to use Lyft or Uber. Um, I wasn't at first like I don't use it here in my town, even though you can readily use it. I just that's not something. Not that I don't want to use it here. I think if I was out for a night of something, that would be a choice. But I would want to be with friends and stuff, and so I would probably use it more down in Florida than I would up here. The Universal Dockside Inn supposed to open at St. Patrick's Day, but it got delayed. Yes, I did see that, Noah, about that. The one area, the Endless Summer Resorts, I forget which side, but they do look pretty neat. They're on this site of where Wet and Wild used to be. So the one does have the lake area where Wet and Wild had their little ski tour area or the kneeboard skiing thing, and the other part of the hotel is across the road where the parking lot used to be of Wet and Wild in that area of Wet and Wild. So, and then you'll take a shuttle bus to the parks. Um, I think their resorts are pretty well themed and stuff. To me, though, the I thought the Adventura, even though they were trying to do probably a more technological, modern day resort, I don't think I would want to stay at that particular one. It just seemed plain to me. The Sapphire Falls looks beautiful. I think the downfall of that one, considering it kind of looks almost like the Royal Pacific, that they don't offer um, the express pass at Sapphire Falls. I can see like Cabana Bay and the Endless Summer and everything, and the Aventura possibly not doing that, but that was the thing. That was an international drive, if I only remember. Yes, it was. Wet and Wild was right there on the corner of International Drive and I believe Kirkman Road. I believe it was right on the corner there. But yes, it was right on International Drive. In fact, that was probably that's one of the first um, water parks I went to when I went to Disney because we stayed across the road. It's now some other place, but it was a Holiday Inn that was across the road from Wet and Wild, and we had walked over, got coupons, and went to Wet and Wild for like a half a day at Wet and Wild, and then we did do River Country for half a day at Walt Disney World when that was there for my first trip to Disney World. Okay, yes, it was Universal Boulevard and International Drive. In those days, though, Universal wasn't there, so I'm not sure what the road was called then, but Universal Boulevard. Thank you, Mike. I wonder if it's close to Epic Universe. I'm not sure. No, I'm still trying to figure out where the Epic Universe is going to be, what area of it. Do you get to be around the hotel across the street a long time ago? Because I stayed there so many years ago, I don't remember. Yeah, I stayed over. Um, It's close by. If you're talking, I remember like on Universal Boulevard, but I think it's Kirkman Road that sat right in front. And the way Universal, when it first opened, that's where you turned in, and that used to be all parking lot until they built the garages and then the little roads that they have now for the parking. But that area, I remember we stayed at a hotel that was right across from Universal, and the Hard Rock Cafe used to be right around where the Hard Rock Hotel was, and their building was shaped like a guitar. And you used to be able to just drive and park there to go into the Hard Rock Cafe without going into the park. And we used to walk from our hotel up through the Universal Drive or whatever that was there, because that used to be the parking lot area until they built the garages and built it up. But there are a few places there. Okay, that's going to be back by the convention center. That's what I was wondering, Mike. So yeah, it is going to be far from the original park. So it'll be interesting how, if you need to switch from park to park or whatever, or if you're just going to go to Epic Universal, that's what you do for the day. Because I couldn't see hopping from park to park. there's times that, now that they have the Hogwarts Express, it makes it a little easier if you have the park ticket or just walking over to the other park hopping. So, but to go over to the other things. We have to head out. It's dinner time. Thanks for sharing your answers and keeping me entertained the afternoon. Oh, you're welcome, Emma and John. Um, Thank you. Enjoy your dinner. Have a great evening. And I do appreciate you stopping by. Thank you. And have a great night. But that's the only Universal hotel I stayed at. The Portofino Bay. I mean, there's times if you look around on their websites and stuff, you can sometimes get the Portofino Bay cheaper than not cheaper than the Cabana Bays or whatever, but sometimes cheaper than the Hard Rock Hotel or the Royal Pacific. They have different types of prices and everything like that. Hello, Dennis Algazi. Thank you for joining. Um, I was just finishing up two tags that I did. One was on a Universal Studios tag, and the other one was Would You Rather Disney Parks version type of tag. I'm not going to stay on too much longer just because I need to get lunch and I have a few things I need to do. But I do appreciate everyone joining. Um, I guess my question is I know a lot of you haven't been to Disney World in a long time or have never been there. Or if you have been there, do you go to other parks while you're there that isn't Disney or other place attractions and stuff like that? Um, because I know when I stay off site, even like staying when I would stay at my cousin's house and stuff, um, I would do other off site Disney things. I mean, yes, that's crazy leaving the Disney bubble, but um, I've been going to Disney for a long time. I was a cast member. I lived there. I like the I like exploring. It's interesting from the time I left at the beginning of the 90s how big explosive the area has become. Um, because I used to drive on those international drives where the outlets and stuff, and there was nothing there but trees and forests and stuff, and be like one of maybe 10 cars on that road. But yes, I've been to Wet and Wild several times when I lived there, and also when we vacationed there early in my early days of Disney trips. Now if we tend to stick to the, I've never been to Aquatica, but I've been to SeaWorld a couple times. Um, we use the car park at Portofino and take the boats. Yes. Um, I prefer Walt Disney World. Universal doesn't compare. Yeah, see, to me, in a way, it doesn't compare in a sense because they are two different style parks. Um, I think Universal, in my opinion, appeals more to teens and adults. Although you could have Daredevil children and tall kids that at 5, 6, 7, 8 years old could be tall and ready to go on those thrill rides. That hey, it's maybe worth going to Universal, but for toddlers and babies, I don't think it's worth spending the money unless you're going to take turns watching the kids, or you have another set of parents or somebody there that you could take turns, or they don't ride as much. So that would be the only thing. Yeah, Wet and Wild is gone, so that's not bad. Mike Wheeler, I know they used to have an arcade over near there that you could drive like a little cars. I know Universal Studio or International Drive, Jeff, had all kinds of different things along there. There was a fun spot. Um, then I know they moved on Universal Drive a little bit. There was Adventureland Golf. There was all kinds of different things along there. Yeah, I do prefer. I will say I do prefer. I never taken just Universal um a universal vacation. I don't think I wouldn't be afraid if somebody offered me, "Hey, you want to go to Universal Studios? Let's go." Um, but I know I would have to find some way or somewhere to get to a Disney park just for even if it's for a day, or even Disney Springs. I know I was down there for a convention one time. Um, I This is before it became Disney Springs. I went over to Pleasure Island and the Village Marketplace and downtown Disney and everything, and just to get my Disney fix a little bit, just and just because I didn't really have much time um, to actually go visit one of the parks. But this was like back in the 90s, so it is a little bit different now. I know if I had the chance, you know, I would at least try to go to one of the things. I'm sure they do, Noah, that they sell the Dole Whip. They do have two fun spot locations that I know of, one on 192 in Kissimmee, and then, welcome back, Disney Nerd Herders. One on 192 in Kissimmee area, and then over on International Drive, the fun spot. Um, we go to SeaWorld every once in a while. Um, They do have some incredible coasters there. I didn't get to ride the Mako the day that we were there. It was a little bit long of a wait, and we had reservations for the shark restaurants. It's kind of like going to the coral reef. You go underneath their shark exhibit down into the aquarium, outside the windows and everything like that. Um, so we've been there. I do miss Pleasure Island. I've been in Mannequins and stuff, but my favorite parts, you would always find me in line at the Comedy Warehouse or the Adventures Club. I wish there would have been some way or somehow they could at least kept the Comedy Warehouse and the Adventurers Club. I mean, I know for them, I'm sure Pleasure Island became a liability, and by um, kind of shutting it down and letting private restaurants come in there, that takes some of the liability off of Disney than worrying about a group of people getting drunk or getting rowdy or getting hurt in their bars or dance floors or whatever. But it would have been fun if they could have found a way to keep the comedy club, or at least I know the Adventures Club was fun. They did do that shows in the library and stuff. Another fun fact, but it is only locally owned amusement park. The guy who made it from Oviedo. Oviedo. What park is that again, Mike? I'm sorry. Yeah, the Comedy Warehouse. Because I know, like, probably one of the reasons why Jelly Rolls is on the boardwalk still is because it is a private entity type of place. That is a fun place to go and stuff. The Jelly Rolls, if you're into the piano bar type scene and stuff, and that can get a little crazy and rowdy in there. Okay, fun spot. Okay. Yes, the fun spot, the guy who made it. Okay, okay, Mike, that's what I kind of figured that you were saying. That's fun spot. Another fun fact is it's locally owned amusement park. Yeah, I would guess that it was there. I know one of the things that I kind of want to put on my must do list is I know, yeah, it's not a big deal or whatever, but I'd like to go over to the Icon um, wheel, and they do have a museum and an aquarium there. And I've seen different specials through the Orlando Convention and Bureau thing of coupons that you could buy for there, or um, to go into the museum if they still have the one museum there. I know there's an aquarium, but um, also to ride the Ferris wheel, just to get a good views and stuff. I know you can get good views if you do the balloon ride at at Disney Springs. I know people have talked about you can find a Groupon for that. Um, I remember going to the top of the Contemporary because that was the highest place to go, and you could watch the space shuttles take off or just see for miles and miles of down. The views are incredible. But now they're building resorts where you can get those same exact views and everything. They don't promote the dance hall, but yes, I do agree there, Dennis Algazi. They don't really promote the Atlantic Dance Hall. I know on Friday nights they do have dancing there. I believe it's Friday nights because my cousin and a bunch of her friends go there a lot of times. It was awesome seeing the guy walk along the top of the Orlando Eye. Oh wow, that would have been scary to see that too. That's wild. Yeah, they should promote the dance hall a little more, but they don't. I know that they have dancing there Friday nights. I don't know of any other time that they're open. At the highest point of the wheel on a clear day, you can see Kennedy Space Center Assembly Building. Oh wow, Mike, that would be incredible there. I have gotten to go to Kennedy Space Center. I think that's another thing that I would like to do is get back down there. It's been a while since I've done that. Um, the problem is I haven't really planned a long trip to Disney in a long time. I seem to want to do shorter 4 or 5 day long weekend trips, and then I don't really want to take the time to go visit those places. But when I was on the longer trips or actually living there, I would go to a lot of those places. Um, I've been to Busch Gardens, Tampa, but it's been a very long time. Um, and I don't really go anywhere else but those areas. I when I was with my cousin one year for like a February vacation, we did go down to Cocoa Beach and I checked out the Ron John Surf Shop, and I think they're supposed to have a Ron John Surf Shop at Disney Springs, or was supposed to put one in. And then I know they have a little shop down at the Orlando airport for Ron John Surf Shop. Um, Yeah, they did have the 50th anniversary. Yes, Noah. So I'd like to at least go back and check it out. I like the space stuff. Um, when I was in Houston, Texas, I wanted to go to the Johnson Space Center for a tour and stuff. But we kind of did a long weekend to visit my uncle, and he lives in the northern part of Houston, and it does take a while. I know when I talk to him, he always says that possibly fly into the airport that's closest to um, to that part of Houston, spend the day there, do whatever I wanted to do there, and then come up around to where he lives and fly out of the other airport that's by him. Just because where he lives, it's like an hour or two drive to go down into Galveston and where the Space Center is. But that would be but I would like to try to get to the Space Center. I know one year we had a free Friday, which was like our last day of our vacation, and my brother-in-law thought about going down there, and he asked his sons what they wanted to do, and they wanted to do the water park, so that kind of nixed it. I was surprised. Um, they like space and stuff like that, but they chose the water parks and stuff instead. Last time I went to Busch Gardens, Tampa was before the Cobra's Curse opened. Okay, I'm not sure what the newest thing was the last time I was there, but I know they used to give out the free samples of the little beers inside the hospitality house. I don't know if they still do that or not. And Cocoa Beach is very nice. Nice to kind of walk and relax, and then you can go out to that jetty pier area, or whatever they call that area, and you can watch some of the cruise ships. I know that's very popular for people on Saturdays and Sundays. And then there's Merritt Island down by there too, which a lot of people say that's nice. But there's a lot of different things. One of the other places I want to try to put on my must do list, is Gatorland, or an airboat ride. Gatorland, or go on one of the airboat rides that's in the area. Um, I I know my nephew, when they go back down. I know they grew up on Disney and they go there a lot and stuff, but they always want to try out some different things. And I was investigating some different things that we could do, but he chose not to go with us this last trip, and So we didn't end up doing that, but I'd like to try to go out to Gatorland or maybe do one of the airboat rides and then go to Gatorland. I've seen that on some vlogs and stuff, and that looked pretty interesting. Um, I also remember driving down on Route 50 through Christmas, Florida. Not that that's a big little town, but it's just interesting. I remember some other type of gator thing or something there with a gator head type of thing. Um, Jeff Resendez, you're probably thinking of the Holiday Inn, but I'm not sure what it's called now. It had like a tower and then they had a separate area building. But then there was a couple Best Westerns and Quality Inns along International Drive and comfort inns. But a lot of those hotels have changed and stuff. And I know the last time we went down International Drive, we did go to Ripley's. Believe it or not, we were waiting to go to the airport and spending time. And when I found coupons, if you stay off site, look on the racks, and there's a lot of coupon books there that'll have coupons for various restaurants off site and attractions. And we went to the Ripley's, believe it or not, and drove out to the fun spot and stuff. And there's a lot of hotels there if you're looking for off-site type of places. But the Ripley's was fun to kind of explore and stuff like that. I've been to other Ripley's museums and everything, but my nephews and them wanted to go in there, and they really enjoyed that. Sure. Use the coupon book for the Golden Corral. I think we did because we went there one time. Oh, no problem, Griswold family vacay. I'm actually going to get off here in a few moments, but I do appreciate everyone joining. If you haven't already done so, please hit that like button. Um, it does help out the channel, and if you're new to the channel, I do appreciate you joining us. Good morning, Pam's fam. Thank you for joining, or good afternoon, depending on where you live and everything. I was just talking about I was doing a Universal Studios tag and a Would You Rather tag that I found through Disney Dan and Walt from Mouse Talk, but I actually got the questions and everything off of Emma and John's channel. They're from the UK and they're the ones that tagged Disney Dan. And so I actually um, got the questions. They had them on their descriptions. I like doing tags. I like to interact with people more than just doing a vlog on it, but I may look at some other questions and do just a video and do that also. Oh yes, that's fun. Well, happy anniversary, Fulton Miraz. I do not have the Harry Potter trivia questions yet because Amazon lost my package somewhere along the way, and um, so it just so I don't have them yet. So once I get them, I will be doing a Harry Potter themed trivia. So brush up on your Harry Potter. Um, Thank you, Dennis Salgazi. Yes, it was very fun to be on the Disney Nerd Herders channel. It's fun to interact with people. Um, Once I get myself really acclimated, I like to invite some people on and either talk about Disney or talk about maybe their hometowns or what attractions and stuff that they like to do. Um, I should do that and make an arrangement, try to find maybe a Sunday or a Saturday afternoon and check with different people to see if they would like to join. Yeah, Pam. I know he goes on. He has about 20 birthdays and 20 anniversaries and different things. But congratulations for that anyway. Today is Thursday, April 23rd. Hello, Rachel. D&G Explorers, PTV, and Rob, and Myers and the Mouse fan. I don't even know. Today is Thursday, April 23rd. You talk about the time has sort of flown, but not flown in a sense. I know back in March when I was off, started off work, it took forever for it to actually hit April. April seems to be flying, maybe because I'm doing a little more and different things have been going on. So it's yeah, it's hard because, like you said, Dennis, every day is Groundhog's Day. 4/23/2020. Yes, Mike. I'm not sure who else is going live. If anybody, I know, I believe Tracy Glenn goes live around 4 p.m. this afternoon. Um, Myers and the Mouse and Dis Our Dreams does the Dreaming with the Mouse. Corey Meets World. He's going to have an awesome stream. He's going to be with the guy who um, is a Disney Imagineer who helped imagine Tom Sawyer's Island. Um, and then I know the Lynn Project goes on at 10 p.m. this evening. I know, oh, I can't. The Griswold Family Vacay is going to be doing a NFL draft watch party later. So go check out the Live Place. They have a lot of schedules. I do thank Dean of the Live Place for hosting my channel and 82 other channels. He has a lot of channels on there, and that's kind of like the place to go is the liveplace.com, and it's kind of like your TV guide of YouTube for family friendly um, um, live streams or videos or anything like that, or different shows. Yeah, Rachel, she barely goes upstairs to where I'm at unless she wants to go outside. So I wouldn't be able to get her at this point because I'm not anywhere near where she's at. She's probably curled up on the couch, if anything. And as soon as I go downstairs, she'll want to probably go outside or whatever, which we'll probably do. But I do need to print off a mailing label and get to the post office because I have a few things I need to mail out. Yeah, you put it in like a phone number, no problem. I always wanted a Swiss Family treehouse. Yes. Um, I still like going up and walking into the Swiss Family Robinson treehouse. I've, I don't think it was Tarzan whenever I went to the Disneyland one, but I know a lot of people say that the views from the Tarzan one is really incredible at Disneyland and everything. Um, I think with the Disney World one, I think you still get some good views, but I think Adventureland kind of blocks it, or maybe the branches a little bit. But I always enjoyed going there. It would be fun to have that. Yes, Rachel, I will. Yes, Rachel, I will do that. Um, but yeah, it looks incredible. I wanted to stay at the Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse. I know Disney World does have at their DVC resort the Treehouse Villas you can stay at. I've always wanted to stay there. They are a little remote from the parks and even from the Saratoga Springs itself. So I guess if I was driving, that would probably be a good location to stay, kind of like Fort Wilderness, where it's kind of a little remote, out of the way type of place. Although Fort Wilderness does have a lot of activities to do, it's best to probably have a car and everything with that. I love the Disney Tarzan with Phil Collins music. Yes, I remember that show. Maybe seen it once or twice and everything. I bet if you call that number, you will get an eye doctor. They used 2020 a lot in the last few years. That's funny, Pam. And there's hardly ever a line. If they have a line at the Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse, the park's busy. I mean, granted, the parks have been busy most of the time, but most of the time when I walk by, there's hardly a line, or maybe a few people walking up through there and stuff. But there can be a line. It just depends. to try to spread out people and everything, but that's about it. Yeah, Monarch Moments usually goes live on Friday evenings also. Just trying to see if yeah, thank you for that information. And I did see Noah mentioned that also, the Disney Family Sing Along. I'd like to go back and rewatch it because I kind of came into it at certain parts and then got busy doing something else. So I did have it on, but wasn't really paying attention too much to it. Goes Wednesdays, Fridays, Sundays, and sometimes Saturdays. Just depends on what time. Thank you, Mike. Um, but that's all I have for now. I do appreciate everyone joining today. It was just more talking about Disney, the different things that on the tags. I do like to do tags because it does invoke conversations and stuff. Um, but I know I could also do my top favorite snacks or restaurants or hotels. Um, I do have some other things of this or that. So just look for those. I may talk to some people about possibly becoming guests. So if you'd like to be a guest sometime on my stream and want to share some of your stuff, let me know. Just DM me. I do have an Instagram, private message me, or Twitter, or on Facebook. I do have that also. So I'll take you in more tag today. Okay, Rachel. Hopefully they're not obscure ones there because I don't have a lot of pins or be able to find a lot of my pins and everything. Have a great day, Jeff, um, and everyone else. Oh, yes, I forgot. Yeah, Rachel is in a different time zone than most of us are. I'm in the Eastern time zone. I know Griswold family vacay is, I think, the Central, and Rachel might be in the Mountain time zone. That's the one thing I always forget. It's weird. Okay, Rachel, thank you. That's fine then. But I'm gonna get going. I got some things I gotta do. Got to get some packages out. Um, so and some mail out and everything like that. So I do thank you all for joining. Please remember to hit that thumbs up button. Um, I will see you in the chats. Okay, Mike. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, I'm not sure. I know Tracy Glenn usually goes on around 4 o'clock on Thursdays. So it's usually Tracy Glenn and then the Dreaming with the Mouse, and then all the other people kind of fall in. Pepper Tree Villa at 6 p.m. with their daily dose of Disney. So be safe, have fun, have a great day, everyone. Thank you for joining, and see you next time. And let the adventures begin. Bye, everyone, and thank you.